and I read the languages on standing stones. I had a book when I was 12, I wrote a book when I was 12, and I'm going to go, when I get the projector I'll show you the area that I marked when I was 12. So I started mapping the heavens and then realising that the area that I was mapping, why was it called Peter or Cephas above Aberdeen? It meant resurrection, Peter's pearly gates. Now I recognise this at 10 and 12-year-old, I'm thinking, oh, isn't that funny? There's a constellation up there called Peter's pearly gates. I know the Catholics believe in Peter's pearly gates. It wasn't until years and years later I went through Buddhism, Christianity, and I learned Hebrew. I learned that the word Peter in the Bible, the guy Peter, is represented where I lived. And Peter Cooter, Peter Cult, occult, and Mary Cooter is where the house of Cephas and Mary, the waters, meet. And then I realised I'm mapping standing stones where waters used to be, but they're not there any longer, but the names are still there. And then I'm reading stories in the Bible, and it's up in the heavens. So I early on began to see this. And then I began to map it over there in Israel, in the Middle East, and when I was over there. But I had to do it in secret because you weren't allowed to do things like standing stones and stone circles there. And when I was over in Israel, I was training to be a rabbi. So you don't talk about crystals and chakras, and, you know, even though I knew all that from Buddhism when I was younger, I abandoned it. But when I went to Israel and I was there, Israel in the Middle East is only 9 miles wide, okay? The actual Eden is 40 odd, 55 miles wide, according to Ezekiel when you study it. Eden itself, the Garden of Eden, is 45 miles old, the old Eden, right? Because there's 2 Edens. So it couldn't fit in Israel, even if it was a modern, you know, they took over Jordan and Iraq, and it still couldn't, it wouldn't fit, it would either be too wide or too small. And the heavens didn't match over there, so I knew there was something wrong there. And then when I came back here, around about 210, 212, that's when I realised the Israel over there is fake.
That's why it's called Israel.
Israel. Well, I'll hopefully talk about why it's called Israel, because why is Britain, I mean, this is an important bit I need to get across. Why is Britain so important? Why am I saying Britain is the tree of life?
The Scottish are enlightened as well. We were invented it,
Yeah.
So the best thing.
Well, it's not just the Scottish, because I'm getting a lot of hassle with people from Wales and Ireland saying, what about the Welsh and what about the Irish? If you look at Ireland, I'll need to get the projector. If you look at Ireland and Scotland, they click together. They click together, they were one island.
As if they were
But the whole world was one landmass,
Aye.
right? There was no nations, there was no borders. The word Gael, right? Gael, I've said this to you before online, Gael. But you probably haven't taken it in. This is what I've been telling people. This is what I've been telling people. The word Gael is the Gaelic word for spirit.
Well, my date of birth is 7777.
If you want to look up the word Gael, you probably tell me something else in English. But it really means, it's simple, because it spells that. Gael, ghost, ghoul, spirit. If you look at any of the coat of arms of Scottish people,
Is that actually name for it?
yes, McCallans, McClans, original, it meant spirit, it means ghost. So we're the Holy Ghost, the Gaels stretches all the way to Spain. Portugal, the port of the Gael. Why is Portugal called Portugal? The port of the Gael. Spain used to be called Iberia, right? España, Iberia, Spain. Iberia is Hibernia. Hibernia is the Hebrides. Hibernia is Ireland. Ancient Ireland used to be called Hibernia. A Hebride or a Hibernian is a Hebrew. So the Gaels are the Hebrews. We are the Hebrews, the real Hebrews. The story that we've got in the Bible, the Hebrews, is bullshit. The Abraham, Isaac and Jacob are all parts of the human brain. So this is cerebrium. Yeah, but it's more than that because Scotland represents the human brain. And until, I'm going to have to get a projector out, I don't want to keep talking, I need to get a projector out, until I actually show you the heavens, and I show you what I've worked out by standing stones and the journey that Kundalini energy takes, right? Because Britain has the spine of Albion, and I have to show it in the heavens because it's written in the heavens. Without seeing it, you'll be like, wow, that was a lot of information. I'll pull the laptop out, I'll get it up, and I'll show you the spine of Albion, which is the Kundalini snake, and that's represented in Britain by the river Ouse, the river Orme, which is in England. At the border, it's represented, the snake is represented by the river Eden, the river Esk, and then again the river Eden up in Fife. And then the snake itself, the Kundalini snake, wraps round and goes up to Balmoral, the river Don and the river Tay, the river Don and the river Tay. And that's a great snake that comes down. But what is that big snake that comes down the river, the waterways, that goes all the way down the spine of Albion? What is the great snake? It's a constellation in the heavens which appeared about 5,500 years ago. It didn't exist in the heavens, and that constellation is known as Draco, the Draco constellation. And this is why I'll have to show you, because all time comes from Britain, right? All time is calculated from Britain. And that's a very important point I want you to go away with. Why Greenwich Mean Time? Greenwich. Now, you remember before the Queen died, right? Wherever she went, wherever it went, she was wearing green, right? She went to Canary Wharf in a yellow suit, the solar plexus. She then went on a green suit. And the last time we seen her lighting the tree, remember the tree? This is the tree. Britannia rules the world. The word Brit means covenant. We rule, we send the law out from the tree to the ends of the earth. Everything imitates from this tree. And she was wearing the green, which is the next chakra up. I don't know this. This is why it's like, no, you're the auntie. Remember my chakras now? And you've got the yellow, green. She was shown, and she lit the tree before she died. Now, why is Greenwich the green man? Green, she wore green. Nature.
Earth.
The heart. Earth.
Heart.
And she was telling the whole world it's here before she pretended, or he, or whatever it is, pretended to disappear.
And allegedly she went to Balmoral.
And you won't understand that until you ask the question.
And why did she come down the way she came down?
You won't understand any of it until you ask the question. The question that I asked her way back, I need a drink, is why all time is measured from here. No, I've got tea.
Do you want a drink of water? Do you want a drink? I'll get you a drink of water. Kenny, can you?
Why is all time measured from Greenwich Mean Time? The Green Man, if anybody knows about the mythology of the Green Man, if anybody has heard of an artist, a musician called Jethro Tull. Oh, Jack in the Green. Jack in the Green. The Green Man brings life to everything. Well, that's why she lit the tree. And if you remember that footage when the Queen lit that tree, the DNA, because all this, Britain represents the DNA, the 3 strands of DNA. Ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry. Why is it called ancient accepted Scottish rite? Why does Freemasonry have 3 pillars? What are those 3 pillars? I'm going to show them in the heavens, because I began talking about the heavens. Everything's in the heavens, like down the rabbit hole. We all know that saying, huh? Oh, it's just like me down the rabbit hole. Do you know you put yourself in a curse every time you...
Oh yeah.
Anything you put out there on that media platform, it's for you to pick it up. Because if you don't know the heavens, well, the rabbit hole's up in the heavens. And if you don't get off their citizenship, which is in the heavens, right? Our ancestors, this is what I've learned. I've had to go into history of, and it's hard trying to find out what our real history is. But I've had to dig into the Celtic history and look at what the Irish traditions believed and what the Welsh believed. And they've divided all this up into different peoples. But see, and they've given different names. I've had to learn what an Irish, Luach or Luch, or the god Luach or Luach, or Loch, where we get the word Loch, or Lachlan, or, I've had to learn all these different words to get the same picture. And all of the pictures all come together, that this was the Holy Lands, this was the tree, and the energy moved up through the houses. And I've had to learn stuff that you've been teaching for years, right? I wish I had you as a teacher, Alison. Because, no, I've had to learn things like, you as well, Angela, you've taught me about chakras and stones that, you know, I never knew. Like, these are all parts of the physical body, all your crystalline parts of your body are all part of this puzzle of the spine of Albion. And Manchester, Liverpool, Hull, the other way round, right? These are all gemstones. The Bible in Revelation talks about the wall of the city and all the stones being jasper, topaz, mercury, all these different, whatever it is, all these different stones. These are the stones that are gathered from the Celtic traditions. So we all know that Stonehenge was made of blue stone that came from Wales. These are all different types of crystals. But they divided us all because at one time the Gaels, the ghouls, the spirit people, the spiritual, even the word Sparta, right? We know the word, the Greeks were the Spartans. That word Sparta is Spiro, and that's my family name. That's what I'm saying. I said earlier on. If you look at the family crest of Scotland, you'll find the word Spiro all the way through it. My family, Moffat and Beattie, is Spiro Melora. I hope, I aspire. When we get the word spire, spiral, I aspire to greater. Meloro, Spiro Meloro, which is where we get the word spirit. And that's what the tree of life, that's what Britain is. It's a spiral, and we shoot up that tree. And our ancestors weren't divided. They weren't attacking each other. They didn't have the McAllisters and the McCallans and all these fighting. That's bullshit. The 7th century, under Kenneth Mac, the son of Alpinio, right?
He's called Kenny Mac.
Kenny Mac, right? Ken means, what does Ken mean? To know. I mean,
Yeah.
Does the Kenneth MacAlpine really exist? Who knows? But what is they're telling us stuff that to ken means to know. Noah is Noah, who survived. No, the ark, the electrical ark. You know, and that's the ark in the heavens, which I'm going to show you. So I don't know. I'm going to be setting this up. Has anybody got any questions while I set this up? Because we can't go forward until I have to give you a rundown there. Because when I go into the heavens, I'll talk about these things, but I'll go through every house. I'm going to go through every house in detail, right?
Remember you said
And
that?
show you where it is over Scotland, all of it.
I want to ask you about Arthur's Seat, the height of it. Because where we are right here is the exact same height as the top of Arthur's Seat.
Where we are.
The bowling right behind us, well, just a wee bit up. My house is just further up to the bowling green. Because mind, I messaged you and says I've been offered a house here.
That's right, aye.
I remember learning at school this part's the exact same height as Arthur's Seat, because you can see Arthur's Seat from our front door. And Berwick Rock from a back window.
Well, that's the Mount of Olives, isn't it? The Arthur
Mount
Seat.
of Olives,
Mount of
aye.
Olives.
It's the bar, it's the level.
Because I thought, well, I placed here for a reason.
Yes, I go.
That's another
I'll take them a minute.
I'm gonna